Hello and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4, and today we are back working in StrangerVille. It's been a little while. Well, to be fair, it's not really been that long given the fact that I kind of forgot this world existed for a really long time. And yeah, I thought last year I think I did one build here, which was the trailer, I think, build, and now we're back. I kind of want to do a few more in this world. As I say, I kind of have forgotten about it, so maybe focusing a little bit more on it as we sort of go along this. But yeah, I thought let's do a really dirty, disgusting tattoo parlour that maybe is not the best kind of place to get your tattoos, but it would kind of really work for storytelling, and that's really what I wanted for today. So yeah, this is a little bit of a rundown place, I've got to be honest, and not somewhere I would recommend if you catch my drift into here. But we've actually done this is actually in the StrangerVille Plaza neighbourhood, so kind of like the town kind of area of it. This was originally the information centre, but it's kind of on this like roundabout, oval about, I guess we'll probably kind of say, in here, where yeah, I thought this would be a really nice place to build something. I think originally I was thinking of maybe a park here, but it just like, you have a plaza at the back which is kind of like a park. It doesn't really feel like a kids safe zone, so I didn't really want to do like a small kids playground, so I didn't really know what to do, and then thought, well, a commercial lot, like a retail sort of shop or something. And then I actually had a look at what builds I have created, realised I have never done a tattoo shop. Now I am going from a lot of this from Google. I don't have any tattoos. They never just really interested me, so I don't know what you need in a tattoo shop, I've got to be honest. I did watch a few other videos of different people creating them, like early access content when businesses and hobbies came out, but yeah, this is kind of on a wing and a prayer, I guess we will say into there. But it is quite a small little place. We also do get a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom kind of house on here as well. Now this is not the biggest lot, this is actually a 20 by 20, so yeah, it's not the world's largest, but we do manage to pack in quite a bit in here. So I'm thinking maybe a shady or like a bad kind of person maybe runs this. Maybe it's just a front for some other illegal criminal activity, that kind of thing in here. When I actually played this, I did, I think, about 2 days of gameplay just to test that everything works in here, and I didn't really get any reputation or any of that kind of setup in here. But yeah, I just thought a really nice, or really bad, I guess, 1-star kind of bad tattoo place in here. But I did actually cheat up all of the skills for the individual that I had working here, so they have like level 10 tattoo skills, but they're maybe not the best business person in here. And as per usual with all of these kind of grungy, dirty kind of old builds, I have lots of cracks, I have lots of chip marks, I have water stains and things like that. And for any eagle-eyed people who know there is a child, yeah, I do cover it. I changed the roof, I pulled it back in one, and yeah, that's why there was that little issue into there. But yeah, so round the back here, which is actually the entrance to this lot, it's kind of backwards and it doesn't really make too much sense. When your Sims actually enter this lot, they enter from the back here, so they kind of have to then walk around, which didn't really make sense. But anyway, this is the Sims, why not? Into here, this is kind of the owners kind of area round the back here, and you'll sort of see I do actually set that up as being just a residential lot, so they can't walk up onto the platform, but they can obviously just like enter the lot from here and then walk around the front it was one of those things that did not make any sense to anybody other than Sims 2. Anyway, in here I place out a little fence in here because I really wanted this to be a private space in here, and I get in some lounge chairs and some seating and things like that, and just other junk and clutter and things like that, just to kind of fill this area in a little bit more. I don't have a garden per se. There really wasn't the space or really the need for one in here, so I just kind of fish that in, and you'll sort of see I will flip around a few times because I'm just pulling out live edit objects, including signs, CCTV, water, tags for the roof. I did look at a giant big sign that I was going to put on the roof. It just did not really feel right into there as well, but I do also manage to get the the graffiti sign in there on the side, because I thought it kind of fitted in here really nicely, and maybe because the person is an artist, they've kind of drawn it themselves, that sort of thing, into there. Now we do have the sign here that we have to have for it to be a business. In here I do actually go back through and place the like tattoo symbol inside it as well, but we have this sort of sign here on the front door. I don't really know what that actually kind of advertises. Maybe it's the name of the place or something like that. I just kind of went through and found one that kind of matched the orange theme that the outside of this build has in there. You might have noticed we changed it up on the inside. I kind of like the combo we went for in here. It was a little bit out there, and I will explain more when we get inside to do that in here. But yeah, because we are playing around with platforms and different heights and things, I did have a few issues when it came to placing these little bushes in here. I just thought I wanted something simple along the front, a nice sort of barrier along here, and then I've actually kind of placed some grasses in amongst them to kind of look like weeds. They're a little bit overgrown, a little bit kind of mixed mashed, and not very well kept, shall we say. Now we're coming back to this back area into here. As I say, the patio chairs and this sort of recliner, and then maybe a plant, just because, well, you never know. Somebody may have given you a plant for your birthday or something, and you've just kind of dumped it out here. I didn't really have too much in mind for that, other than it kind of fitted in with the theme. And yeah, lots of rubbish around the back here because, well, nobody particularly likes to tidy up in here, and it kind of really fitted with what I wanted this whole place to sort of look like. And we do get in some floor stencils. I've got to be honest, you really can't see them, and it was a challenge because I was clicking on them, but I couldn't actually see what I was clicking on at times. Trying to move those into place. But we do actually get in the new login thing for business hobbies that came with that like login event. We do actually get that in there. I was looking at it, but it needs to have like a counter, which is super annoying because I didn't have one at that point. Anyway, we're now working on the floor plan in here. So this is the upstairs of the residential house in here. It's kind of like an all-in-one downstairs, so like kitchen, living, dining room, and then just an upstairs bedroom and bathroom kind of combo in there. But now this is the sort of tattoo shop part of this. I probably placed too much down here. This is maybe a little bit too big, and maybe the house is a little bit too small. But yeah, I just pull out all of the necessary items that we need for this sort of pack, and everything we get into there. And then I find these drain pipes and I go, why did I not put those in? Although it is the desert, so how actually is gonna rain, I don't know. When I play tested this, I didn't have any rain for like the 3 days that I think I was actually here, because I play tested just the house for 1 day and then like the actual tattoo shop for like 2. So yeah, there's that. And it was one of those things. I just never saw any, but I've put them in there because they were a nice little detail and just something on the house that kind of felt right. And it just made everything look a little bit nicer and what I really wanted on the outside. Right, so we've pulled out quite a few items, going through everything that I think came from businesses and hobbies in here, and then a few other packs as well. But now we're going to jump on to the kind of check-in reception kind of desk in here. This is where we actually do get that new check-in thing from. I've placed it on the end. When I came in to playtest this, nobody was checking in, and it didn't really make any sense why. I actually had to move it to the middle one. I don't know why. It just did not want to work on that end one. I did rotate it around so it's on the end. No, it had to go in the middle. So yeah, there are a few little minor tweaks like that that I just had to fix as we sort of went along. But it's such a minute little thing, but so frustrating when you open a business and you're actually running it and nobody can check in into here as well. But I just thought a nice little bit of clutter on here, lots of sort of tattoo, lots of ink, some scrapbooks maybe for doodling or doing designs or things like that, and yeah, a nice little seat in there for you to kind of sit behind the counter if you're just waiting for somebody or something like that. But now we have this humongous waiting room. I was not sure what kind of colour scheme to go for on the inside. I kind of flicked through quite a few and then I settled on this yellow. I've got to be honest, I did not even think the yellow would kind of really work, but I kind of went all in for it for this space. So the yellow polka dot rug I absolutely love. I don't think I've ever used it in that swatch, but the sofas, even those chairs with like the black trim, kind of all really work in here as well. And then especially with the windows not having any real glass in them, they're just kind of like metal shutters. I think because it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, it's going to really, it just really works in here. So I kind of lent into that sort of yellow vibe of what we have in here. And I do actually place in a little desk over here which has the artist's sort of like digital sketchpad sort of thing in here. I thought because if they are an artist, they would want to kind of create like paintings, doodles, that sort of thing. I also do get a proper easel in, which I have to be fair, the only time I ever really used that was when somebody who came in for a tattoo started an artwork piece. Of which I probably couldn't scrap, so I ended up having to delete the entire easel and just putting another one in. But you know, I did actually place it in there for you, whether it's for your Sims or whether it's kind of one of those little tricks that you can kind of get people to come in, create some artwork or something, and then like they leave it, and so you can then profit from it. Kind of a little bit shady to me, but you know, why not? In here we do also get this big gold sort of statue with the sunglasses, which I thought worked perfectly. But now we're going to jump over onto the actual kind of tattoo space. And here we do have this kind of breeze block kind of open window, which I really liked from the outside, but then when I got onto the inside I realised actually it's a little bit too exposed and a little bit too see-through. So I've placed this giant curtain kind of behind it or in front of it just to give you a little bit more privacy, and then I do come in with some blinds because I thought maybe if you're tattooing in a intimate place or something like that on the body, you maybe don't want everybody and their neighbour to see exactly where you're doing it. So yeah, I've placed the blinds on all the windows. I do go along just before I upload this to the gallery with tulle just to make sure they're all at the same height and they all look great, because you know the game does not like curtains and I do not like curtains or blinds either. Into here I really wasn't sure, again, colour scheme in here I went through quite a few. I think we end up settling on this sort of grey sort of blind area, and then two different coloured tattoo benches in here, just sort of in that brown kind of old leather kind of used look in here. I do actually place a bathroom down in here as well, so this area slightly changes. You would have noticed the kind of kitchen kind of clean up area. It went through a few changes. I wasn't sure the size of it, and it changes again, I've got to be honest with you. Into here, it's, yeah, I just wanted lots of sort of clutter, lots of sort of junk, lots of yeah, lots of things everywhere in here. Like, it's just kind of been thrown on the counter, or it's kind of just been put to one side and discarded, because I think that's kind of what I would really want. This whole sort of shady, dirty, kind of not so nice tattoo place, that's kind of what I wanted into here. And yeah, but we do bring in hints of yellow. So we've got the yellow stools, the yellow sink, and then the yellow sort of shelving units and other bits and pieces, just to kind of bring that sort of yellow colour scheme all the way through. But we're pretty much done with the sort of tattoo aspect of this. As I say, we do have the bathroom to fit in, and yeah, then we're going to be jumping over to the house very quickly. I go through quite a few lights. I wasn't sure how I really wanted this all to be lit up, but I thought some really nice pendant lights here by reception, and then some overhead sort of fluorescent kind of bulbs in there, a little bit more kind of industrial kind of feel to them as well. I did actually run this with just one sim on the lot, and I didn't hire any staff or anything, which maybe was a bit of a mistake, because we really didn't get too many tattoos done per day because there just was not time. So maybe you would need to hire somebody for sort of doing tattoos, or have a 2 sims living here, in which case like you could have your other sim do the other tattoos, or yeah, something like that. That maybe might have been a bit better, but I just did it with a single sim. And yeah, we got there, and we did actually make profit, so that's something. Because I think tattoos actually in the game cost quite a lot to have done. But yeah, this is the small little bathroom. As I said, nothing major in here. It is just sort of the toilet, the sink, and a few little like soap and stuff. And then I just shrink down the kitchen a little bit more. It really isn't worth anything. I think you really just need like a sink for washing like equipment or stuff. That's kind of what I had in my head. And then maybe a drying place for those same equipment to sort of air dry in here. Yeah, it's not very hygienic, but hey, this is The Sims, and this is a 1-star tattoo place. What do you really expect? Into here. And then a little bit of post. I'm just sort of going through, adding in a few little final touches to this area, and pulling out lots of sort of bits and pieces and lots of details and just clutter items to make this all feel and work a little bit better into there. So jumping over into the kind of house aspect kind of area of this build, I have obviously set this all to residential, so no customers will just walk in here into there. But yeah, this is a small, as I said, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom kind of place. I just really kind of wanted like a little crash pad for them. There's nothing too kind of major in here. It's just a really nice simple little area. Small little sort of kitchen. I do probably clutter this maybe a little bit too much kind of for the sort of size of it and kind of what's in here, but yeah, I quite like cluttering, what can I say. This kitchen is actually quite small. I do purposely leave the counters, some of them completely empty, so that you still have cooking space into here, but I also do get all my little bits and pieces that you know and I love to do in here. Yeah, I got frustrated there. As you might be able to tell, I kind of got frustrated there with that one into here. And then we have just placed these on here, so there is technically 1 full counter that's completely empty, and then like the end counter the other side of the fridge freezer, but my Sims didn't have any problems cooking food for themselves or anything like that, so that's all fine. And yeah, it's just a really simple little area, and I do get in some tiles. I kind of forget that we have these sometimes, but these kind of worked really nicely in here. It's a nice little splashback, because I really didn't want tiles all over the place in that kitchen. It just really wouldn't work for me. So yeah, and then we kind of get in, we have this sort of concrete floor that I've sort of rolled in from the tattoo place, and I've just kind of distressed it with some paint marks and some scuffs and things like that, and then I have probably placed a rug over the top of most of it. Yeah, but it kind of feels right. Like, you know, I kind of actually really like these kind of grungy, dirty kind of builds. They are actually quite fun to build, and they're so different from my kind of family, suburban, perfect little family homes, that it's a nice little change here and there to try and do different bits and pieces and different kind of out there sort of builds, which I super love into there. Now we do have this big sort of table in the back here from the industrials loft. I do actually use quite a lot of that for here. I felt like the style of it just really worked in here. It has 2 bar stools. They are kind of on each end, so you have to walk around the sofa to kind of get to the other one, but I didn't see that as being too much of an issue in here. And then while I had that kit out, I just pulled out the bed and wardrobe and stuff like that upstairs as well. And then I thought a nice little bookshelf, because although we do have the like stacks of books in the sort of waiting area, which by the way again was a mistake, I'm forever putting books away, but hey, I kind of wanted one in here, and I thought this sort of rustic kind of one in here just fitted in the theme a little bit better into there. And because we have platforms, placing things close to the wall was actually really frustrating. So you might notice, just to place something normal, I have to use tool, but that's pretty easy and simple to do. In here, I didn't think they would spend too much time in here, so like watching TV and stuff, so I've just placed an old sort of TV down in there, and then just a few little lamps and bits and pieces just to kind of make this feel a little bit more sort of lived in, and also bring the colours through from the other build. And then lots of sort of posters of conspiracy theories and other bits and pieces from sort of StrangerVille, because I thought that would kind of fit in with the vibe into here. And now we are going to jump over or upstairs to the sort of bedroom. It's quite a big space when you actually look at it. There is no door to this space, you just kind of come straight up the stairs. So yeah, privacy is maybe not a thing in this build, but you know, if it is just a single sim as I kind of had in my mind when I was building this, then I think it'll be perfectly fine into here. And I do place these really distressed old kind of mirrors in. I thought maybe from like a salvage yard or something like that kind of would be the perfect place for something like this. Go on a little bit of a treasure hunt for some antiques or bits and pieces like that. Yeah, and then this sort of gorgeous orange rug. I love this rug, and I love orange. I mean, come on. Anyone who is new here, I love the colour orange and green. But yeah, anyone who has been with me a while, you know that by now. Into here, and now we're going to kind of get in this little office space. I kind of went through a few desks, and I thought this one would actually work in here really well. So it's a little bit kind of mended. It's, I think, a door, a crate, and like some shelves, but it kind of actually works in here. A little laptop, just for maybe doing like social media or accounting or like business stuff into there as well. Just a nice little area. Maybe not so nice, but anyway, you get the idea into here. And now we're gonna work on a little bathroom. So yeah, you lucky people get to see another bathroom from me into here. You had one last week as well. God, you're getting greedy with these bathrooms. Into here, it's just a simple shower combo in here. There's not really too much that actually goes into here, but what we are doing is coming up to the end of this video. So this is available to download right now from the Sims 4 gallery. But yeah, you can subscribe here to my channel. It would mean so very, very much to me. Or you can follow me on pretty much all social medias. The links to those are down in the description on my link tree, so check those out. And if you are loving this sort of StrangerVille collection kind of build, then let me know down in the comments if you have liked this build or if you would like to see any more. But for now, stay happy and stay building, everyone. Bye!